This is Costa Rica. A haven for nature enthusiasts, this Central American country ticks all the boxes. Lush rainforests, soaring volcanoes, and iconic wildlife. Meet Esteban Elizondo, our host for the first leg of our journey.
This is something that the pilot, should do it by himself, but these guys have been with forever. They're actually better than myself these days.
As the manager of La Finca Lodge, his specialty is tailor-made adventures. But it's easy to see what Esteban's passion is.
We come with the fire, we're gonna heat the air inside and the balloon is gonna start going up, okay?
His guest today is Rocio Carranza, an actress and environmental activist in Costa Rica. Eager to see her country's abundant biodiversity from above, it's her first time riding the wind.
It takes about, 5 minutes for the mind to figure it out what you're doing. The thing with ballooning is a movement that we don't get it any place. Do you understand? Nothing. You can go biking, you can go cars, you can go planes, helicopters, boats, anything. This, we're traveling with the wind. It's a sensation that is weird. The brain has to process that.
I feel like when I dream that I fly, it's like the same feeling.
The only licensed hot air balloon operator in all of Costa Rica, Esteban makes the experience memorable.
You know what? For me, ballooning is a blessing. I mean, for me, ballooning is a passion. I cannot see it as a profession. You're touched by the ballooning. Just the fact of floating. And seeing something from a perspective that you get a clear vision of everything. You see the people, how they lived. You see the crops. You see the plantations. You see everything around you. You get to touch them, to smell them, to feel them. The balloon it's a pretty unique experience in every way. For me, it's like a dream. There is perfection over there.
High above the canopy, the incredible views include the once active Arenal volcano.
We have the 5% of the whole biodiversity of the world. Costa Rica is pioneer in protecting nature. We have 25% of the country as preserved areas. That's why I work for protecting nature.
Even an approaching rain shower doesn't diminish the sights or dampen the spirit.
Bueno, ¿qué pasó, señores? It's going to be a little technical landing. Do you see how we're slowing down the speed just by hitting the sugarcane? Good thing that the owners of the sugarcane field are really good friends of us.
I'm really amazed. Super. It has been one of the best experiences I've ever had, I think.
This is certainly the best way to start a day, actually.
Back on the ground, we head to nearby La Finca Lodge. Surrounded by green pastures and rainforests, La Finca prides itself on its simple and rural charm.
The old-fashioned word, like La Finca means the place for the family. It's the place where the kids run free, there are fruit trees, there are animals, the green areas, the open areas.
A working ranch, Esteban and his wife have over 40 horses on the property.
Listen, there are places for people and people for places. I learned that a long time ago. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other one. It's just different, and I don't know, at least what we're looking for is this is what for us is Costa Rica, not the big resorts, which I'm sure that there's people very happy at those places, but not for us. We're looking for someone who enjoys the culture, who enjoys the contact with the people around, something where, without sacrificing comfort, but you get a more natural experience, with the environment. We try to take our people out of the beaten path. We don't like the most touristy places. We try to, actually to take them out and get a feeling of what this country is. You know, we try to combine everything. You know, we play around. We like toys and we like activities. When we talked about the ATVs, it's not about just riding the bikes. No, it's about riding the bikes to a destination that would add to the total at the end. You know, like it's not only the way you get there, it's what you get to see at the end as well.
El volcán Arenal, Arenal volcano. I used to come here since I was like, I don't know, 3 years old. Sunsets in Costa Rica are amazing because we have also a lot of clouds. So the clouds is where you can see the lot of colors. When looking at this, I feel blessed. Living by nature and knowing so many people that are working to protect this nature.
And while you might think this breathtaking sunset would be the perfect ending to an action-packed day, Esteban has one more hidden treasure.
We love this one, especially after the ATV ride, as you will see, where we get trashed with mud and we go through different scenery. Going into the hot spring, that's like being in heaven, you know, like a hot bathtub, you know, like with the hot springs, is the perfect way to finish an adventure, you know, with the ATV rides. So we have picked these ones because they're real. They're for locals. They're not as high-end as the ones by La Fortuna, but they got the charm.
How magic is nature. You should come.
Another reason to come explore Costa Rica is its amazing wildlife. The Toucan Rescue Ranch is a great way to get an up-close encounter.
And they need to be very efficient in the way they use their energy. So that's why they're so slow.
Home to all kinds of creatures, it's both Instagram-worthy and for a worthy cause. The Rescue Ranch rehabilitates sick as well as injured wildlife from all over Costa Rica. And the goal is to return the animals back to their natural habitat.
We're always full, but we're also open to we cannot say no to a sloth. Look at their faces, they're adorable. Yes, you are.
Along with guided tours, there's even a guest house.
It's great because it's right here on the property, so guests can do the tour, they can have breakfast with us while we feed the baby sloths during the breakfast, and be a part of, you know, everything that's happening here.
Baby sloths with breakfast. Does it really get any better than that? Costa Rica's adventures are great for getting the heart rate up. But every journey requires some time to wind down and find your center of gravity. We found a beach town that allows you to do both.
For me, it's like a great way to start the day. It's like you set an intention, you have a moment to feel how does it feel to be present.
Pura vida. A phrase heard here often, is as much a state of mind as a way of life in Costa Rica.
Hands behind the back, interlace your fingers and fold over your legs, stretching out the shoulders.
Pura vida for me means being free, being able to live in a beautiful country where you are free to say what you need to say, that it's very important. Pura vida is living in a place with no army, where most of the money that should go to an army goes to education. Pura vida means taking care of yourself, giving a smile to every single person that you see, and just being happy.
Enjoy life, enjoy those little details. Go to the beach, watch the sunset, enjoy the monkey that you just saw. Enjoy those little details, pure life, be present.
It's the pursuit of pura vida that's brought to us our next destination, the Bodhi Tree Yoga Resort.
Bodhi tree is where Buddha sat to get enlightened. He sat underneath the Bodhi tree, and I think it kind of speaks for itself when you walk around the property and see what we created.
Perched along the Pacific coast, near the tiny beach town of Nosara, Bodhi Tree is a mecca for healthy living.
Bodhi Tree is more than a yoga resort or a regular hotel. Bodhi Tree not only is special for yogis or people that are hardcore and they have already experienced practice, it's also a good place for a normal person who wants to come and just relax in the jungle. We work really, really hard to have beautiful facilities for everyone. So just enjoy the beach, enjoy yourself, take a spa treatment, take a dip in the pool. I think we have a little bit of everything for everyone, which makes it magical and special.
The lush landscape and open-air design means the magic happens here daily.
People have very different reasons for coming to a yoga class. Some it's very physical, others it's to still the mind. I'm there to simply guide them back into themselves, back into the core of who they are.
Usually when you go on vacation, sometimes you either overeat or overdrink or just like try to go have fun, but then you come home and you feel like you need a vacation from your vacation. Instead, that's the comment I always get from people. When they're leaving, they say, Maria, I feel way better than when I got here.
Inhaling and exhaling, release the cervical spine by a little figure 8 with your head.
We will love you to leave this place feeling more comfortable with your body. And if you didn't learn how to do the warrior one, that's okay. But if you learn how to breathe and how to accept your body, that's enough for us. It is, yes.
This healing power may come from being only steps away from one of the most beautiful stretches of beach in Costa Rica. This rugged beauty and rugged beach town feel is something that people here work very hard to preserve.
The tourism that we're getting here is minded tourism. People that really care about the environment, that really care about the people, that care about the locals and respect the locals. They're not trying to come and impose the way of what they're doing at their homes, but they're trying to also adapt to what's here. It's kind of overused, but we're the happiest people in the world. It does work.
It's a really welcoming place, and that's become more true over the last 10 years. Especially in the coastal areas here in Nosara, it's an incredibly international community.
Nosara's pristine beaches and legendary break also make it the ideal place to get your surf on.
We're really lucky here. We sit within a conservation zone, and that means that there's no development on the beach. When you walk out onto the beach and you look back, you just see a wall of green plants and trees, and that's beautiful.
Once again, no experience is required. But if you're serious about becoming a surfer, then you want to sign up for surf school.
Those rails are specifically designed to kind of grab hold of the water and work in conjunction with the fins, so that we can kind of get some directional stability to the left or to the right as well.
Surf Simply has a different approach to teaching people how to surf. Our methodology is just totally different. We don't want a surfer just to stand up on a wave. We want them to know how to catch a wave, why to catch a wave.
So we're doing what we call a whitewater assessment. So this is the first time I've seen Joe surf, so I've just given him a few drills to kind of get a sense of where he's at with his surfing.
Each week, 8 coaches work with only 12 surfers, so spots fill up fast. The secluded beaches and ideal conditions are a huge draw.
It's pretty special here because you get south swells and north swells, so you get surf all the way through the year, and there's actually not many places in the world where that's true.
Just waking up and surfing with my friends is the best thing ever. the people, specifically like in the water, they're very friendly. It's more like mellow, there's no like stress and everything. Everyone is like really cool in the water.
I've surfed all around the world, and you mostly have men in the water and like Danny was saying, that aggressive sort of mentality a little bit. And here, I would say almost like half the people out there or even more are women. And it's really inspiring to be a female and to be out in the water and seeing other women and seeing them push themselves as surfers too.
Yeah.
The last destination on our Costa Rican getaway centers around you.
Making sure your wife is comfortable.
It's time to pamper yourself and concentrate on the key ingredients of a great vacation. Relaxing, eating great food, and worshipping the sun. Imagine escaping to an oceanside hideaway where luxury and leisure await your arrival.
I said, this is why we go flying, so you can see it from a different perspective and you're able to enjoy it. It's spectacular.
Welcome to Malpais.
We found a resort that combines them all while providing the perfect setting to disconnect.
Salud. This hotel has a special place in our hearts. It's our baby. It's where it all started. We got it when it was a little 3-villa bed and breakfast, and it's where the dream and the vision began.
The owners of the Casa Chameleon hotels have created their own little Costa Rican paradise that caters to adults who want to get away. Customized for couples, these are boutique hotels in every sense of the word.
We believe that in today's travel world, people, because they're looking for that natural, that authentic experience, it's much easier to feel that in a place where
you have the intimacy.
Where you have the intimacy.
The second hotel in their meticulously planned properties, Casa Chameleon at Las Catalinas, hugs the hills of this secluded cove. Each environmentally friendly villa has their own plunge pool, graced with private panoramic views.
We are pretty conscious of the environment, and one of the things that we're trying to do is go plastic free. So we have these bottles that are recycled and recyclable.
The eco-design rooms ensure your stay is low impact and part of the country's green initiative.
Beyond the physical elements of the hotel, we really try to focus on sustainable practices. We work very hard for local interaction and being selective. For example, our chef, Jose, he really works with the local fishermen. He goes out and he selects the fishermen, sometimes goes out and fishes with them directly to select the fish.
Chef Jose Lopez has embraced the seed-to-table concept.
We're gonna try to get some fish close to the Catalina Islands. I say try because I don't like to guarantee anything when it comes to fishing. This is a bonito tuna, amazing for sashimi, which we're gonna have in about 10 minutes.
Back at Casa Chameleon's Sentido Norte restaurant, Jose makes the rounds as he prepares his evening's meals.
We tried the octopus and mussels yesterday. Very good option, thank you.
Did you put the fries in the garlic and wine butter? Yeah, that's the way to go.
The chef is clearly comfortable in his kitchen and wants those dining with him to feel the same.
I'm going to do a little cooking class for you. We're in the middle of service, but you're on the chef's table. Some beautiful octopus tentacles. I'm gonna put a little bit of basil oil with lime. Fire is a wonder factor in dining. People love it. It's relaxing, it's energy. There you go. Mrs. Annie, you are served. It's a pleasure to cook for you.
The centerpiece of Casa Chameleon is the immense infinity pool. Like a temple to the sun gods, It's the place to be every evening as the sky comes alive.
This pool is grand and it's magnificent, and that's what this view is. We feel like that's what this country is and what this experience should be like. So we wanted to give that wow factor to people when they walked up and just were like, wow. And we like leaving people speechless. That was the whole point.
Mesmerizing and romantic. Some sunsets have a way of encapsulating an entire journey. Burned into our memory, they stay with us, forever linked to a time and a place.
Destination sets off to Guatemala to explore a small Central American country that entices all the senses. From the stunning landscapes formed by soaring volcanoes to a lush jungle hidden with Mayan wonders. It's a place where old-world colonial charm collides with contemporary city life. Here, everything bursts with color. The walls, the food, the history, and the people. We start in Antigua, known for its cobblestone streets and colorful buildings. From above, the city unfurls in a grid-like fashion, one of the earliest examples of urban planning in Latin America.
Estamos en el sitio de la Compañía de Jesús.
We are at the site of La Compañía de Jesús. The importance of this historical complex lays on the economic and social power that the Jesuit order held. It's the only building in the whole city to have mural paintings.
Former city curator Jose Maria Magna says this UNESCO World Heritage Site has deep religious roots. Antigua was originally the capital city of Guatemala. But after a series of earthquakes in the 1700s, the capital moved to Guatemala City.
The building was destroyed and abandoned after the destruction of the city in 1773. But in the 19th century, when coffee was introduced as a monoculture for export, the city acquired new life. And this block of buildings, made up of a church and a convent, was used since as a market. On the side door, we can see the products that were sold inside the market and their corresponding prices in royal currency.
Stunning architecture here isn't just for public buildings.
Aprovechando que estamos en Casa Popeno.
We are in Casa Popeno, without a doubt one of the best preserved houses of the 18th century. It is worth mentioning something important in regards to the architecture and its symbolism. The arch is a reflection of the importance of the owner of the house.
Llegamos a la cocina de la casa.
We've arrived to the kitchen of the house, which is another characteristic element of colonial architecture. In this case, it's a magnificent kitchen composed of two elements, antecocina and the stove area which is behind you. In the antecocina, food was prepared. Here are the original ovens from the 18th century, prior to taking the food to the area where it would be cooked, which is another very important space in traditional architecture. From a spatial point of view, this is a simple rectangular space, crowned with an octagonal bell, which connects at the corners with this triangular structure called pechinas.
A quick walk away from Casa Popeno is perhaps Antigua's most iconic image.
This
arch is nothing more than an architectural accident, due to the fact that on this side we have Las Catalinas, a convent for cloistered nuns. In the 18th century, the nuns had a school for girls across the street. The nuns, asked the municipality for permission to close the street and be able to cross from one side to the other without being seen. City Council said no, that it was not possible. But the architect working for the nuns decided that the solution would be to create a bridge.
The Jesuit presence on Antigua goes beyond the architecture. It is also responsible for one of Guatemala's biggest and most famous commodities, coffee. And for engineer-turned-coffee farmer Ricardo Pocorni, it's much more than a crop.
This is a pretty new plantation. It's about a year old, and we're lucky because it is now in full bloom.
La Azotea farm has been in his family for 180 years.
The main power source, which was a huge water mill, dates to about the 1820s. And the main mill, originally, we found parts of the original mill, which dated to about 1880. And then the mill was renewed by my grandfather in about 1908. And the machinery was built by McKinnon in Aberdeen, Scotland.
Today, the old milling machine only processes a small portion of the farm's beans.
What you're seeing here is actually a newer mill that we built at about the year 2000 to meet our environmental requirements of water consumption so that the coffee itself becomes an environmentally friendly coffee.
For most foodies, Guatemalan cuisine is relatively unknown. Our next stop takes us to the Central Market, where we meet TV producer Ana Carlos, an expert on food in Antigua.
When we see a candy shop in the middle of the market, we are seeing a slice of history. What we are seeing here is this dulceria. It's a mix of ingredients that comes from Mesoamerica and the Spanish influence, which was brought about by nuns. Nuns were the first ones to make candy in the convents, and from there they got to the market and became a tradition. The most important thing I want to tell you is the rediscovery of some local herbs. This is chipilín. We are going to see chipilín where it's grown.
Cayoba Farms is a haven for organic produce and fresh pressed juices. The farm has been providing produce to contemporary Guatemalan eateries since opening in 2004. On Saturdays, though, its kitchen highlights traditional cuisine.
We are with Doña Connie and Doña Marta, who are two ladies who prepare the emblematic dishes in this farm. Can we start to see how you will prepare it?
Here we have the pepián.
Pepián, a traditional Mayan stew, is one of the many dishes made by hand. Everything from the grinding to roasting of ingredients is derived largely from Mayan traditions. But if you can't wait until Saturday for a good meal, just follow the locals to church any day of the week. Here, stands begin popping up in front of churches across the city at sunset, each one a feast of colors, flavors, and textures.
What we can see here that is very interesting is that these are family-owned businesses. A lot of times, entire families are working with these family recipes. So, atole is a pre-Hispanic drink. It's very old. Maize atole is drunk all year. It's the most popular. The atoles are drinks that are used usually in the church's atriums, where people congregate to savor them on the streets, which is the loveliest thing.
It's the deepest lake in Central America, with a depth of 320 meters. Surrounded by 3 vast volcanoes that rise up, providing a dramatic 360-degree backdrop. A place where outdoor adventures go hand in hand with colorful cultural experiences. Here, 12 towns dot the lake's shores, and the indigenous Mayan culture is vividly alive in each. Welcome to Lake Atitlan.
So we're doing a hike that's very close to my heart.
Guatemala City native Melissa Whitbeck grew up visiting family at the lake.
I like to come here because it's very peaceful and you can really see the colors of the lake.
This is where the hike ends, in the picturesque town of Santa Catarina Palopo. Travel to any village around the lake and you'll see women and children wearing traditional Guatemalan huipils. But take a closer look and you'll realize the designs of these tunics are specific to each town.
I always believe that Guatemalan are true artists. We are born and we are raised in a country where color, textures, patterns, everything, we are exposed to it daily.
In 2016, Melissa helped form the Pintado Santa Catarina Palopo project, transforming this town of 6,000 into a cultural destination through paint and patterns.
Santa Catarina, it's a wow town because every wall is different, every wall is telling a story. We created a base of design where families get to mix and match what they paint in their house. And it's something so unique and so representative to families in the area because it's something they wear on a daily basis in their textiles. So they wanted to show this to the world.
A few minutes away lies Casa Palopo, an upscale boutique hotel with a spectacular view.
We don't get tired of waking up and opening those windows and just seeing those 3 volcanoes in front of us. Hey, welcome to Casa Palopo. It's so nice to have you here. We're so happy that we're gonna go see all the town. My name is Claudia and I'm from Casa Palopo.
In 2010, Claudia Bosch bought the property from a friend and expanded it into a luxurious 15-room retreat. Each guest room is meticulously curated with art from all over the world.
The lake is a very peaceful place. You know, it's perfect for yoga, for retreats, for just finding yourself. I really want to take you out to the town because what's so important about Guatemala is to have that contact and to share with the community and see how locals are doing things. There's different towns around the lake. There's 12 towns named after the apostles. So we have San Pedro, San Marcos, Santiago, and all the saints. Now we're going to San Juan that has the specialty of arts, and we're gonna see some dyeing of the textiles, which is beautiful. Hi, Gabriela.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
So nice to be here.
Nice to see you.
Tour guide Gabriela de la Bastide has lived on the lake for decades.
Great.
Love this town. It's amazing.
So we'll visit an art gallery.
Okay.
Very famous.
Okay.
Very famous female painter.
Oh, I
Name
love
is
that.
Angelina. So Angelina started this style. This is called bird's eye view. It's like a bird looking down onto the daily life. This is the beginning of one. Look, we have looked like this one is the cotton crop. People working out in the cotton fields. So Angelina started this whole style and now everybody's copying her. So she's become really popular.
San Juan is known for its weaving co-ops.
Catarina, hola.
At this particular co-op, 52 women put their spin on cotton.
Catarina is explaining that from the age of 7, they start to do this. So you have a ball of thread. This could easily take 2 days. The white is dyed. How do we get the colors? Look at the beautiful green you get from rosemary
So
plant.
nice.
Not only for cooking, also for dyeing thread. We have carotene from carrots, gives us orange. There are 2 plants that are really interesting because they are affected by full moon.
Okay.
Imagine, this is really cool. So for example, the logwood tree, this is a hardwood. So if they cut that tree and it's right around the time of full moon, you get this deep purple. If you cut it and it's not around the time of full moon, you get a lighter purple. The explanation is that the sap, the tree is absorbing more sap and it makes for a richer, deeper color if you cut it in full moon.
With its moderate weather and rich soil, the lake is known for its produce. At Casa Palopo, diners can pair the breathtaking views with Chef Eduardo González's cuisine, which incorporates a Mayan staple, corn.
The corn is something that has been present in Guatemalan culture since the Mayans. They developed everything around the corn, you know. And right now, in Guatemala, well, the tortillas are made the same way they used to do it. If you come to Guatemala, you can find a lot of things that they say los tres tiempos, tortilla los tres tiempos. So that means that you can find tortilla for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner, and it has to be fresh.
But corn's not just for tortillas. Its significance still impacts modern-day practices in the country. Farmers here perform religious ceremonies, a concept called making the milpa, when planting and harvesting the crop. Lake life here means tranquil views and charming towns. In other words, a little something for everyone. Deep in the lush jungles of northern Guatemala lies the ghost town of Tikal. Now a national park, it's a gem in the archaeological world, a peek into the ancient Mayan culture. In 1956, a team of archaeologists arrived for the Tikal project, a 13-year expedition funded primarily by the University of Pennsylvania. For Tony Ortiz, a walk through these ruins is like revisiting his childhood. His parents ran the original 12-room hotel, which lodged the archaeologists from 1956 to 1968. Now, the Jungle Lodge Hotel is a luxurious 49-room escape just steps away from the ruins.
We have the original rooms here where the archaeologists camped. The wood's still original, the size of the rooms are original, but we keep this like a little piece of history for the world.
A walk around the hotel is like a step back in time, with remnants of the Tikal project era scattered around the grounds.
These jeeps and these old trucks were brought in order to have transportation for the archaeologists of the Tikal project.
At the height of the project, 113 people were working and living at or near the Jungle Lodge. But in 1968, the American ambassador to Guatemala was assassinated during the Guatemalan Civil War, and the project ended. But the national park is home to more than just relics from the Tikal project. A 30-minute drive away from the Jungle Lodge is a set of ruins called Huaxactún. The discovery of these ruins in 1916 led to the unearthing of Tikal.
After this, now we know that all the Mayan sites have observatories. We have 3 buildings here. The building on the left, from that point of view, the sun rises behind that on June 21st. That's the longest day in the northern hemisphere, the north. The days keep getting shorter. For September 21st here for an equinox, it was important to keep track of the sun. If you know where the sun is at a certain time of year, we know what time of year it is. So that the mice could predict the rains. It's very critical to predict the rain when you plant. I think that gives us an idea of the organized society most have had. Because you need people to be specialized in stargazing.
Sunrise here is a feast for the eyes and ears. The best views are from the tops of temples and are accompanied by sounds of a jungle waking up. This is Guatemala, a country that may be small in size, but whose offerings to travelers are anything but.